So, as you know, things get worse for Cracker Barrel after desperate move sparks major backlash from the loyal customers and employees. Now, Cracker Barrel is in real trouble, and right now, well, customers aren't staying quiet about it. You see, Cracker Barrel has upset loyal diners, frustrated employees, and also confused even longtime fans with changes that nobody asked for. Now, the particular identity that once made Cracker Barrel, unique is actually disappearing fast, and people are walking away because, well, the company just simply refuses to listen. And instead of just simply fixing problems, Cracker Barrel is doubling down and creating even bigger ones. Okay. So they've issued a non apology, as you all know, a statement, their official statement and stuff. And you know what? We've seen it coming with all that happened, how things are getting worse for Cracker Barrel after their desperate move to issue this non apology and what this major backlash means for the future. Okay. So former employees, as I've reported yesterday, are calling out the CEO for cutting hours, reducing food quality, and even stripping away everything that actually made Cracker Barrel special in the first place. You see, they turned it into another cookie cutter spot where you can't tell if you're sitting in a Denny's or an IHOP. Now, the food's not the same, according to a lot of people. The atmosphere is gone, and the branding is just unrecognizable. Now, that flair Cracker Barrel had is gone. And instead of just listening to the people who actually kept their business alive, well, corporate leadership and the CEO decided to double down and alienate its core audience even further. Now, honestly, this whole rebrand isn't just a new logo. Cracker Barrel is changing the language, policies, and even the small details that regular people loved. You see, they not only they also redesigned the peg game, the piece of nostalgia that's been sitting on tables for 50 years, simply because someone somewhere might feel offended by the old phrasing. And instead of you're an ignoramus if you couldn't solve it, now it gives you affirmations like, try again. Everybody has bad days. You see, Cracker Barrel took a simple, harmless game and just simply turned it into a participation trophy. Customers actually feel like even their traditions are being erased, and it's sparking more outrage than corporate leadership expected. Now, honestly, there's also the fake apology. Now, as you all saw, Cracker Barrel posted a carefully worded promise to our guests that reads like it was written by AI. You see, they claim to listen to heartfelt voices while announcing that they're not changing anything that customers actually asked for. Okay, they're offering, meaningless discounts, free sides, and heritage talk to distract people and stuff. But nowhere in their statement did they even commit to, undoing the changes, as I reported yesterday. They frame it like it's about evolving with new generations while ignoring the fact that, longtime customers, the very people who built Cracker Barrel into what it was, are the ones walking away. All right. Now, this particular backlash is everywhere, you see. Now, on Instagram, right here, as I showed you, even Facebook and even forums, people are just demanding that they bring back the old branding, cancel the remodels, and just simply restore the rustic vibe and stuff. The comment section are flooded with complaints about the sterile interiors, the LED lighting, and Hobby Lobby style decorations that's replacing the old cozy, cluttered charm. Okay, now customers they're actually taking force here in the Instagram profile for Cracker Barrel in the comment section, saying we don't want remodeled stories. We want the old floors that creak as you step in on them. We want to step into the restaurant that looks like it's lit by oil lamps. We don't want bright LED lit stores with modern art. I want to see rusty farm equipment all over the walls. I want it to look like the back of an old Southern farm farmhouse. I wanted that too. Heck, even DC Journal here said, stop spitting in our faces and telling us it's sweet tea. Bring back the old logo, okay? And then it goes on saying the biggest insult to your customers is acting like you hear them, but doing the complete opposite. And then someone here says Uncle Herschel would have shown you to the door. Now, the restaurant is failing because of your food quality and your service has slipped hugely. The logo rebranding and tons of white paint are not going to fix that. Get rid of the Cisco truck that pulls in with all that processed food and start cooking for real. And it's going on and further. Okay, somebody even commented, "We hear you, but we don't care." Got it. That's what they're basically saying right now. You see, they need to understand that customers want creaking floors, antiques on the walls, and a sense of history, not bright modern art pieces and generic furniture. People aren't, just upset about the aesthetics. They're furious because Cracker Barrel is just simply abandoning the very identity that actually drew them in to begin with. Now, Uncle Herschel actually became a symbol of how tone deaf, corporate leadership has gotten. And that's no surprise right there. You see, they took him off the logo, removed his famous breakfast platter, and then quietly added it back as a returning favorite, okay, after outrage boiled over. Now, customers knew exactly what happened. Simply put, Cracker Barrel tried to erase parts of its past, thinking no one would care, only to backtrack once the backlash actually exploded. The irony is, if Uncle Herschel supposedly represents their heritage, why remove him in the first place? I mean, it makes no sense unless corporate leadership thinks that embracing their history is bad optics. Right there, that's not modernization. That's alienating the people who actually care. And the bigger problem is how dismissive Cracker Barrel and their response has been. You see, they frame all these changes like they're listening while ignoring what customers are clearly saying. People want the old logo, rustic design, authentic decor, and consistent food quality. Instead, corporate just simply keeps pitching our next generation of families and new audiences, which actually translates to chasing a customer base that doesn't exist for them. Now, the people who already liked Cracker Barrel weren't demanding this. They didn't feel excluded. No one ever walked into a Cracker Barrel and simply got turned away because of blue hair or rainbow shirts. You see, everybody was welcome. This isn't inclusion. It's just simply performative branding at the expense of loyal customers. And now the backlash is spreading beyond branding. Videos are actually going viral showing empty dining rooms, empty parking lots, even in stores that haven't been remodeled yet. And the customers are simply boycotting out of principle, refusing to spend money on a company that refuses to listen. You see, Cracker Barrel thinks people will get over it in a few weeks, but the frustration is only growing as more changes roll out. You see, social media, as you know, has given customers a unified voice, and Cracker Barrel keeps underestimating how loud that voice can get when enough people are feeling betrayed. And then there's also the food quality, which used to be a major selling point. You see, employees are alleging that cost-cutting measures like leaving bacon out overnight, shrinking portions, and swapping fresh recipes for cheaper alternatives. Now, customers are noticing this, the difference of it, and it's eroding trust faster than any logo redesign ever could. Now, instead of improving what they already did well, Cracker Barrel is simply pouring money into rebranding and alienating the base. It's the wrong battle at the wrong time, and the people who built their, success are simply walking away. Even the peg game controversy sums up everything that's wrong with this new strategy. You see, Cracker Barrel took a small, quirky tradition and stripped away what made it fun to appease hypothetical critics. People aren't, mad because they love being called ignorant. by a wooden triangle. They're simply mad because this change actually represents a bigger pattern of corporate sanitation. You see, it's not about a game, it's about identity. Cracker Barrel keeps gutting the parts of its brand that people associate with nostalgia, comfort, and authenticity, replacing them with focus group approved blandness. Now, this isn't just a Cracker Barrel problem. This is a part of a larger corporate trend where brands actually, abandon their loyal customers to chase phantom audiences that never show up. Think back to even McDonald's doing the same thing years ago, ditching Ronald McDonald in bright designs to become sleek and modern. And now they're backtracking, bringing color and nostalgia because Gen Z wants personality. Now, people want brands that own their identity, not the ones that erase it. You see, Cracker Barrel is trying to court the modern audience that doesn't even exist, while actively driving away the customers who kept them alive for decades, okay? And that's no surprise right there. Now, the deeper issue is arrogance. Cracker Barrel leadership assumed they could dictate what their audience wants, and instead of just listening to them, they just treated the backlash just like noise. But every Instagram comment, boycott video, and empty dining room is proof that they actually miscalculated badly. Now, customers don't want another Applebee's or Perkins clone. You see, they want the rustic, unique Cracker Barrel experience, creaky floors, packed gift shops, rocking chairs, and old Americana decor. Those details mattered, and ignoring them is actually costing the company loyalty it can't afford to lose, okay? So some customers think that this is reversible if Cracker Barrel acts quickly, but the company actually shows no sign of walking it back. They've spent too much on menus, on remodels, and signage to admit they made a mistake. That's the trap so many corporations fall into. Pride over practicality. And instead of taking the sonic route, listening, apologizing, and reverting changes, well, Cracker Barrel insists on staying the course and alienating more customers along the way. I mean, honestly, that's simply how boycotts go from temporary frustration to permanent abandonment. Now, look, that's the real danger here. Cracker Barrel isn't just losing diners, they're losing cultural relevance. The brand thrived for decades because it was distinct, memorable, and consistent. Now, once you strip away the identity that built loyalty, you become just another roadside stop, interchangeable with every other chain. Now, nostalgia drove families back year after year, and by erasing that, Cracker Barrel is just serving a connection that they might never rebuild, okay? But honestly, the future doesn't really look great unless, leadership wakes up. Customers are clear. They want the old vibe, the old branding, the old experience, the Cracker Barrel that felt special. And they're not asking for much. You see, they want authentic comfort, not corporate approved sterility. Just keep ignoring them, and Cracker Barrel simply risks ending up like countless other chains that thought they could go ahead and replace their audience instead of just simply respecting it. But at this point, Cracker Barrel needs to decide whether they want to fight for the identity that built them or fade into just another generic brand people drive past without thinking twice. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed what was shared in the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for future uploads notifications. Join the Discord server in the description below. And I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.